Hey, it's your girl KV back with another review for Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is season 10, episode 6, Martell Me No Lies. This was a decent little episode, y'all. I cackled. I cackled just as hard as Martell did. So it opens up with Tisha goofing, circling back through the parking lot, coming back to the coffee shop because production clearly told her, no ma'am, you gotta go finish that scene. Trying to be a little drama queen, thinking you the HBIC and you can do whatever you want to do. No, you can't storm out on this meeting. Go back and get it. So she goes back on in there. She sits down and she's just like, are we gonna talk? Are we gonna talk? Because you're yelling at me and I can't deal with you yelling at me now. Now it's like, I'm not yelling at you, Letitia. Letitia Scott, I'm not yelling. Okay. But she says that she does have some level of respect for Nell, so she does want to talk it out and work it out. Ooh, I need my coffee. It was funny because you can tell she wasn't gone long at all because the coffee came out like it was regularly supposed to. So dramatic, y'all. Lordy. So then she's talking to Nell. Like I said, she's letting her know, listen, you ain't gonna be yelling at me. But I am just kind of going through some things because all these rumors about, my relationship, it takes a toll on you. So I can get it. Even if she don't want to pay attention to the half evidence there is that Marceau may have been unfaithful, or she don't really care. Bring it to her fully fleshed out, show me pictures, text messages, and receipts with his credit card type deal, or I'm not believing it. Regardless, hey, she feels like her husband has never cheated on her. But everybody keeping on saying these rumors and stuff like that is taking a toll on her, right? Y'all, a lot of people don't even really think they're together like that. A lot of people don't even really think they're together like that because they was living separate for a while. It looks like they got the house fixed up now and they might be all in the same house now, but yeah, it be looking kind of interesting, the dynamics of their relationship. It definitely gives F it. It's giving, you know what? You do what you do, I'm gonna do what you do. You know what I mean? Not for one second do I feel like these days in 2025, if Marceau in them streets, Tisha in them streets, them kids old enough to be at home by themselves too. Tisha she ain't get that body done for nothing. Tisha ain't gonna get that BBL done for nothing. So if y'all ain't gonna talk about it, okay, girl, whatever. But we see what's popping off over there. Okay, it's looking like, traditional marriage, I suppose. So she's still upset about the rumors, but my thing about the rumors is it's your husband's fault. Your husband has put you in these situations. So for you to be mad at the world because of what Marceau did, it's like, this is literally the man that you married. Literally the man that you married, girl. So Nell gets her grace. She understands because she's like, you know how I feel. You've had infidelity in your marriage. Nell gives her grace because she does understand. And then they talk about the whole mentoring piece. But why you think you my mentor, Nell? We just be talking. You're not my mentor. Nell is just like, listen, girl, I am a mentor, Letitia. I am a certified life coach. And Tisha is in the confessional clowning her about that. Like, if you a life coach, I got a PhD. And it do be funny when life coaches, like, don't be having no self-awareness. Because Nell sometimes it's like looking at the issue with their son. Look at that. You was just crying last season about overextending yourself, always having to pay, always having to uproot your life in some way for these kids. And here you go, volunteering to do it again after you just had a whole breakdown about it. It's like, if you got the self-awareness to know, as a life coach, I would think that you would have the self-awareness to, resolve it. So what happens next? They sitting there talking, and they're still talking about the guys and all that issues like that. Only thing else I really got from this conversation is Nell ended up apologizing to Letitia, but Letitia didn't apologize to Nell. Right? Did I catch that? It's hard to listen to Letitia. I always be so critical sometimes when I'm watching a review and the people don't remember something, or it be something that I felt like was so obvious. Like, hey, how you don't remember that? But when it comes to Letitia's scenes and some other scenes on some other shows, I just be like, listen, let me go refill my drink. Let me do this. Let me respond to this text message real quick. I'm not fully paying attention. So, yeah, that sounds about right. Next, we see Maurice and Kimmy. He comes over to the office and he tells her that he wants to go to see Martell because he needs to talk to Martell because I just feel like he's spiraling. I said, no, you want to talk to him before he put out some undeniable proof about you being a cheater. You want to go chat with him so he don't think it's beef with y'all and he keep doing something until he show a picture with you with your face in between some ass cheeks. Like, oh, we went wilding in Vegas type deal. That's what Martell is giving. So that's what Maurice is getting. Let me go check the temperature, right? Kimmy is just like, that's a waste of time. We know Martell is going to deny. We know he's going to lie. We just know he's going to do the most. Like, what's the point? And she tells him that Martell does not respect you. So you feeling like you can go tell him something and make a difference about it. He don't respect you. He see you as an extension of your brother. I said, ooh, read. Get him, Kimmy. Kimmy has low-key been eviscerating her husband this season through everybody else's words, right? Or thoughts, what she feels like other people's. It started with Jalen. I feel like it was something right before that. And now this. I'm not saying that you're a complete jerk in a butthole, but some people might feel that you are. Kimmy, do you like this man? What is going on? Do he got your drawers buried out in the backyard? Like, what is happening? Kimmy is giving Reese's up. But I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. Call him out. Call him to task because he feels like, because he's the oldest, because he's a lawyer, he's a dad and a husband. He's had 2 marriages, so he knows what failure looks like, so he knows what to do right the next time. That is the air that Reese walks around with. Like, he's better than everybody else he's around. And so Kimmy really kind of sticking it to him. Yeah, it's my heart rate. It's my heart rate. Kimmy kind of sticking it to him this season, just kind of, well, he don't respect you. Yeah, Jalen says you're not a father figure. Yeah. Tell us how you feel, Kimmy. Tell us how you feel. So she goes even deeper to say that Martell, and this part kind of made me cringe because it's like, I know that in Kimmy's head, she is speaking as if she's in Martell's head, but it's giving, this to be factual. She says that Martell is basically jealous and mad and envious of them and want to destroy them in their marriages because they was all on the same bull, but he the one that gets caught and loses his family. I said that is so loaded. Like, on one hand, I think on the first season, Melody did say that Martell didn't really get out in them streets like that until he started hanging with Maurice and Marceau. He didn't really get out in them streets like that until he was with them. But at the same time, even if y'all was out on the streets together, which I can believe, I can believe the girl that was on the interview. Dudes like that, you got a little toss joint that's just there. Just, let me some head right fast. If you're already cheating, your girl probably ain't getting there to the next day, or your girl couldn't make it last night. There's freaks right there. She's already been flown out. Pay for the food or something, y'all probably all smashed that girl. Like I said, they showed the picture of the girl from the time frame that they talking about. I can believe it. So there's that. And then Martell, they was just smashing them on vacation and chucking the deuces. You had a whole girlfriend that you had gotten pregnant multiple times, had calling your wife because she ain't in line. You bought her a car. Like, you wholeheartedly had a girlfriend out here. So for you to be mad that y'all was all doing the same thing is insane. It's insane. So what happens next? Yo, Kimmy. The fact that she said this on camera slayed me. But like I said, she's been all season. So they're sitting there talking about Martell, and she just is like, you know what? I don't think you should go talk to him. I think your time will be better spent with your son. Your son that you moved out here, that you said that you would take hands on raising him. The one that I gotta do everything for. Love him down, but you can spend some time with him. Y'all said y'all was gonna do some stuff. You said you was gonna do that. You should spend some time with your son instead of going over here to talk to Martell about nothing. Maurice looks at her like, father my child. I didn't father your child, Kimmy. Why would I treat Monster any different? If I'm not fathering any children. I'm not hands-on with any of them. It's not that Jalen is the stepchild. It's that he was a child. And children and Reese, why do you think I got married again? I am not the type of man that can take care of children by myself. Kimmy, you are an amazing woman, an amazing mother. Why would I spend time with my child when you're around? Like, that's what Reese be giving. Yo, he's terrible. Kimmy. Tisha and Marcel at the house. We see Tisha talking to her oldest daughter, Mila. I think she said she's in middle school. She's sitting there greasing her hair, on her scalp rather, with some of their products. Because, the two girls, she started them a hair care line, which I think is really cool, really smart. Start y'all off on a little business, here go your brand and here go your this. So she was like, I think we should add some, what she was talking about, some Edge products. I think we should add some more products since you went to Edges now, you in middle school. And also you need to take a more hands-on approach with your marketing. If you're on social media, you need to be posting your stuff. I said, that's fair. That's very fair. This is your business. And Marcel ends up coming in the room, and he's basically like, listen, you got to say it different. You got to incentivize her. You get the money from your sales from your posts, okay? And then you ain't got to ask me for no money. Tisha said that you shouldn't give her the money. I said, yeah, right. Daddy's and his girl. So they have a little playful family moment, and I thought this was cute. And you could tell Marcel's kids love him. I don't know if it was an act in the early years or if he was acting like he just wasn't a hands-on parent. But when you really see the dynamics of the family, Marcel Dangner be with his kids just as much as we would see Martell. But I can definitely remember that scene where they were in the backyard and Martell was like, yeah, I do drop-offs. Yeah, I do this and do that. And Marcel said, and what do you get out of that? What do you get out of spending time with your children? Maybe he evolved over the years, because between that moment and him not knowing his son was allergic to peanut butter, it's like, dude, you seem like a terrible parent. But these days, he's done something right, because the kids love him, okay? They're not sitting here like, dang, I can't wait to leave type stuff. The kids love him. So she has this little playful moment where she's talking about who's the favorite. First it was Marcel, but now it's Tisha. Yeah, she goes on about her day. Tisha ends up telling him about the conversation with Nell, and she's like, yeah, and Nell's talking about I was in Chris' face and I was getting in Chris' face. And Marcel was like, Duffy head. Oh, please don't let this thing fall. I'm just trying to charge you. Is that the top or the bottom? Is it the Frank or the beans? Is it the Frank or the beans? So, if you know, you know. The zipper, the bathroom, the movie. Is that hair gel? Anywho's, so they talk about Nell. Marcel, like, you wasn't in man face, essentially. He tells her later on, like, you was doing a bit much. She's telling him how Nell was like, don't talk to me like a child, and da-da-da. He says, is that how a mentor is supposed to act? She's like, you know she's certified. He said, certified crazy? No. Certified life coach. I was gagged as well. But yeah, she said something along the lines like, when she with Nell, blur, if she with Destiny Kimmy, it's good. And he was like, watch out for Destiny, okay? She's everybody's friend. And a friend to everyone is a friend to no one. Boy, hush. So next we see Nell and Fletcher. They at this toy store getting some stuff for the kids. The most random place to film a scene, y'all. They end up whispering. Of course, they end up, main conversation is Destiny and Lance. Nell is just like, well, she said that it wasn't nothing serious. They wasn't exclusive. And she said they wasn't doing nothing. So if they wasn't doing nothing, hey, man, you gotta get it from somewhere. Everybody was so appalled at that, and I'm just kind of like, okay, like, is she lying? If they weren't that serious, they weren't exclusive, why wouldn't everybody think that he's smashing somebody else? If this is just something fun to do, like, we hang out and kick it and flirt, versus me hugging up on her getting some cutty, what? So yeah, I was just kind of, it was odd to me how everybody was so like, oh my God, Nell, why would you say that? They weren't serious. Like, they weren't serious. So Nell don't feel like he owe her a conversation about the baby. I feel like it's up to him. If he feel like he do, then he could. But the fact that they weren't really all that serious. But if you want to circle the block someday, have a conversation. Have a conversation. Next, we see Martell and Maurice have a sit down. Essentially, this is Reese trying to get Martell to say that he was lying with the lady that they interviewed on YouTube. So Martell is like, but I saw you. I was in the room when you did it. He was like, well, you was in the room? So what my junk look like? You know, what my stuff, what my package, what this schlong looking like? Because my member is very distinct. It's got some distinct qualities that you will not forget. Martell is gagged. He's just like, what? Why would I be looking at your thing? If you saw it, just saw it. I was disgusted as much as Martell was disgusted. I wasn't looking at you like that. But he still claims that Marceau is the one that flew the girl out, but they all did smash, right? Then they hop over to the DUI incident. I can't even remember how they transitioned that, y'all. But they start talking about that, and Reese starts going on. First, of course, he has to let everybody know that the charges are dropped because he wasn't drunk driving. Blah, 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 blah. Boy, the stories just don't make sense. We'll get there. We'll get there. He claims he hit an animal. I hit an animal. I hit an animal, a pole, and a tree. Martell cackles. And so do I, because you're not helping your case. You weren't drunk at whatever time you got pulled over, but something so happened that you end up having a multi-accident or multiple accidents. Y'all got a sticker. I forgot my baby put this sticker. We went to Trader Joe's when we picked her up. She was out of milkshakes and we needed stuff for burritos. So yeah, y'all, he hit a pole, an animal, and a tree. He still claims that he was headed home. Him and Kimmy was right behind each other. Kimmy was going home. He had a little stop to make, 10-15 minutes. He was going to be right behind her. Meanwhile, last season, Kimmy said she was sleep. She was sleep, and it was the next morning, the next day when she was starting to get up and get the day going when she realized he wasn't there. So I'm like, if I know my man is 20, 30 minutes behind me and we getting home, I'm not going to sleep. You was already asleep way before he had intentions of coming home, Miss Lady. Stop. We're not dumb. We're not dumb, okay? Ain't no way. But if that's what he's saying, yeah, so she wouldn't have went to sleep if he was supposed to be right behind her. She would have called him. She would have known something was up. It wouldn't have been 9, 10 o'clock in the morning when she found out he was in jail. But back to Martell. Oh, that's the next part. So lastly, we see Maurice go have a conversation with Kimmy and Marcel to tell them about the conversation with Martell. He mentions the whole oh, I forgot. Martell was like, oh, so if I'm lying, sue me. You a lawyer, right? You a lawyer, right? Sue me. And I'm like, they're not allowed to sue each other, are they? I feel like they're not allowed to sue each other and get restraining orders and stuff like that, right? I could be wrong now. But back to the brothers and Kimmy. He mentions the whole, did you see my stuff? Did you see my stuff? It's real distinct. Kimmy back there smirking. Both of y'all so goofy. Both of y'all so lame. Both of y'all is so lame, bro. But the whole conversation was stupid because, like I said, them even giving it as much energy as they are, it's making them kind of slip up, and it's exposing them because, yeah, they might say you're a liar, but they're not explicitly really saying that we never did XYZ. They're just saying that never happened. You're a liar. So what did happen? Because something happened, like something happened. It's already been stuff. Like I said, Ariana already told us that some of them guys trip pictures, she took them pictures. So she was on these cheatation trips. So if it's one side chick there, ain't no way you telling me that the rest of y'all ain't got a side chick too. Baby, my man couldn't hang with no niggas. My man can't go on no trip with no niggas with no side. Child, please. So that's really it. Marceau is like, because Reese is trying to paint this picture. Yeah, I don't think he's mentally well. He's spiraling. I think he's going through something mentally. Marceau is like, nah, that's just how he is. This is how he been. This ain't no mental episode. And I'm like, that's what I'm confused about. Everybody is acting so shocked about Martell's behavior when he's been this guy since season 1. We on season 10. But y'all didn't see it as harshly as y'all do now because it wasn't directed towards y'all. Unfortunate for you. So Kimmy is just like, when he's a nice guy, he's a nice guy. But when he's not, he's not. Thank you, Kimmy, for stating the obvious. But I get what she's saying. Like, it's levels to being mean. And Martell is like a special type of vindictive, type of mean, type of evil villain, type of... Ugh. So I get it. But that's really it, y'all. Yeah, that's it. I'm about to go and kick off this cooking. We doing Taco Tuesday, but I want burritos this go round, so I'm doing rice. I got some steak for me, steak, guac, bell peppers. I got a little salad mix. I always just throw a little something in there. I should have got some lettuce, but I forgot. It'll be fine with whatever greens in there. Beans. Do I got cheese? Yeah, I did get some cheese. I say guac. My husband got some mushrooms. I know he vegan, so we do his little vegan stuff. And we're going to see if this little girl actually eat some burrito. If not, I'm going to just have to make her a quesadilla. But like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video. What else? Comment. Let me know if y'all is watching, how y'all feel about Love and Marriage Huntsville this season. Until next time, y'all. Bye.